All right, so this is a second demonstration of a game that uses a broadcast and receive, right? So a second benefit. First of all, what I try to do is when I hit the green flag, I want to create like a reset, right? So I have two sprites right now. One I have that should be named, this one should be named the ship, and this one should be named instructions. So in my instructions, I have a couple different costumes. I have the instructions that you see on the screen here. I have blank, and I have win, and I have lose. So my instructions, win, and lose screen can all be in the same sprite. And then on my ship's going to have just a reset at the beginning. When the green flag's clicked, it's going to set the size down to 50%, go to the center of the screen, and then hide. So when I click the green flag, I want the instruction screen to show and the spaceship to hide. And then so I have this little, that's all that the ship's doing is hiding. When the green flag's clicked for the instructions, it shows the instructions. I reset the score to 0. I reset my ship's health to 10. I have it point in a direction, go to the middle. That's just the instructions. And I switch the instruction screen on my costume. Then it waits until any key is pressed. So as soon as they press any key, all that this one does is hide. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to broadcast a message, and this message is going to tell everything what to do when the game's going to start. So I'm going to broadcast a message that's called start game. And, oh, well, I meant to say start game, but that's okay. Now on ship, what I want to do is I want to have a when I receive block, and when it receives the message start game, then it starts this game loop. And the game loop's going to repeat until health is less than 0 or health is greater than 100. And it's going to do things like what happens when the keys are pressed, and what happens when it gets shot, or when it shoots a projectile, etc. But I'm not going to worry about that part of the game right now. I'm just going to worry about what happens when the the broadcast at the end of the game. At the end of the game, after I die, I'm going to do something like have this if statement, a conditional statement, and it's going to be something like if the health is less than 0, I would probably tell the ship to I don't know, hide, and then broadcast a message that says like game over. Sorry, broadcast is up here. Maybe I broadcast loser because you died. Or, and then in the other scenario, if the score got greater than 100, the ship's going to hide, and I'm going to broadcast winner. Okay. When I receive start game, we should probably do something like show so that the ship will show. Let's see how it works so far. I hit the green flag, I get my instruction screen, I press a key, and there's my little ship, pretending that, eventually I get to a score of 100, and if I click on this score of 100, my ship hides, and it broadcasted winner. Now, nothing happened when I broadcasted winner, but on the instruction screen, when I receive winner, I would have this show. I want the instructions to show back up, and I wanted to switch to a costume, which is the win screen. The win screen is called Untitled. Let's rename it. Win, and let's rename this one Lose. So we say switch to costume win. I'll probably duplicate this, go to loser, switch to costume lose. Okay? So at the green flag, it's going to reset, go to start game. Then it's going to switch to a winning screen or losing screen. My stage, I have 3 backgrounds, space, win, or lose. I think at the beginning, I want my costume to get switched to space, and then when it receives a winner, it should switch to its costume. This is the stage background win. We'll duplicate that set, and when I receive loser, switch to lose, which is just a red or a green or a black. Okay, so let's see how it looks. I hit the green flag, use the arrow keys to move, use the mouse to aim, spacebar to shoot. Okay, I press a key, I've got my ship, I pretend it's playing a game. Eventually, the ship gets to a point where it can score 100 points. Boom, I get a win screen. Great. Let's duplicate this. Let's change it to health. What happens if I get to a health of 0? Maybe the enemies are shooting me. So we play the game. I set the health to 0. Ooh, it's less than 0. So -1. I get to the loser screen. Okay? So that's a little bit how a broadcast and receive can work in a more complex game. Obviously, I don't have the game fully built, but I'm trying to give you guys an idea of how this broadcast and receive is beneficial. It's important for us to set up all the variables and positions and whether things are hiding or showing before the game starts. And then when the game starts, I broadcast start, I start those game loops, and I'm checking for things like collisions, and I'm checking for key presses, and I'm doing all that inside this game loop. Okay? Hope that helps with broadcast and receive.